love about the EU mic checks was I think it's Misfits where the top laner they're supposed to go top to bot. Have you seen the most recent mic check?
Yes. Yeah.
And Mickey's finally he's just done with it. He's just I'm so done. I love it. I do think that EU players have more fun, and you can obviously tell that I actually enjoy watching EU, considering that I'm online and know what the number of viewership is. So that tells you that I actually watch a ridiculous amount of LCS. The only reason that I wouldn't say that I watch too much right now is because I've actually stopped watching LCK, just because I'm trying to invest more in the stream. And so between NA and EU and keeping up with those, I haven't been able to add LCK to the roster yet. But there was a time that I was watching all four. I would catch every NA, every EU, every LCK, and every LPL game. And that was too much LCS, guys. That was too much LCS. Not doing that.
That's insane.
All right, so Team Thundercats versus Team Masters of the Universe for game number 3. Salic playing this time around. We've got some awesome old names. Catnator coming back in. Diki Dow, it's been a while. As well as some new people. YOLO Solo 17 and Amumumala taking up one on each team. Thank you for joining us. And a huge shout out to Mickey, Poppy, for joining us from the EU, hanging out anyway. So appreciate, even though
I think I would agree with him currently. I think EU LCS is better than NA because they have a better hold on the meta, I think.
I think that they're just not afraid of playing what some NA people would consider to be off-meta picks.
That's fair.
And
the Heimerdinger.
I think that the thing that I like about EU, especially from Misfits, is their complete lack of fear of going aggressive. That's the thing that drives me nuts about TSM, and the things that I like about Cloud9 is that so far, and most of what I watched in the NALCS, is that if you play safe and only wait for the enemy team to make a mistake, if the enemy team's making 4 plays and you find a mistake in 1, they're still making 3 good plays. So it suits your team so much better to make aggressive plays, even if here or there you might not make a perfect play. If you're making more plays than the enemy team is overall, and 3 out of 4 you're doing fine, you're going to win the game. And TSM plays so passively, it drives me nuts. Echo Fox is one of those teams that they win or lose by their aggression. The games that they go hard in and they've got their jungler Dardoch that's crushing down the jungle and top lane, they're going to do fine. The games that they play more passively, they try to scale and those sorts of things, they do poorly in. So I think it really is just all about the aggression. But we've got Phantom of Temp picking up Pyke this game. I am really excited to see what Master of the Universe can take in the bottom lane versus TSM Doublelift and Wincarnation, because these two players are so good as a duo in the bottom lane. They've already banned out Wincarnation's Alistar, which I love. They banned away TSM Doublelift's Lucian. So now we get to see, as we're going to have a second tier of bans, what else they can ban to stop these two, as YOLO Solo may be picking up the Darius and says, you know what, Seal, I will show you how to play the Darius.
I like the team coming out of the side of Team Thundercats already.
Yeah, the Pantheon in the jungle allows him to just come out of anywhere. Great engage with the stun. Lissandra on the Salic being able to... Somebody clapping. I'm not sure what, but I appreciate the claps nonetheless. Salic on the Lissandra in the mid lane. That's something that you almost never see, and yet he's actually pretty good with this Lissandra. As Catnator is going to grab the Jhin, the bottom lane for Masters of the Universe, pairing up with Pyke fairly well.
Jhin Pyke's a good lane. Fun lane to play. Not fun to play against, but it's a fun lane to play.
The main thing, I think, is for Jhin to be patient on his his snare, because you can quite often miss those if you're trying to guess where they're going to be. If you allow Pyke to finish the Bone Skewer, the full animation of it, pull them all the way back, and then Jhin lands the snare, you can pair nicely. Whereas if you're trying to over-predict and you miss because Pyke pulls somebody out, then it's not going to be as good. But Catnator is such a good player, I don't see that being too much of an issue. Reeves! How did your scrim session go? Glad that you can join us tonight. You got dethroned for most bits. You have been kicked out into number 2. As Badger, who's casting tonight, has taken your slot. Double ADCs banned away from Masters of the Universe, the Kaisa and the Vayne, as Thundercats is going to keep banning away some junglers of the Wukong and the Kindred.
I switched everything over to Otter because
you did. Really everything's Otter. Okay, fine. You're the classy Otter. I think I have Photoshop up right now. I'll go ahead and edit the spectator and change it right now. I can do this.
So that's 2 bans. So Wukong Kindred bans from the side of Team Thundercats. As Boxox and Fizz from mid lane, the Wincarnation. Oh, Tom Kench, Draven bottom lane for double lift and Wincarnation. That is not fun. As Dikido picks up the Udyr jungle. This is an interesting. Both team comps look really, really scary to come up against. For I do like the picks from the side of Team Thundercats here. Thunder doing very well into a lot of matchups because he's a very safe champion. As soon as you get 6, you just ult yourself if you're in trouble. Ult them if you want to burst them down. Either way, works very well. Boxy picking up Fizz might be interesting to see how that goes in the matchup in the mid lane. Whether or not Boxy can get that lead by Fizz and Boxy. The bot lane is going to be, I think, the key point for this game. The matchup to watch with TSM Double and Wincarnation playing Draven, Tom Kench into Catinator and Fannerton's Jin Pike lane. Might be fairly interesting to see.
All right, so as we are finishing the load out and they're going to launch off into game, we got 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and run through the players and their champions for Team Thundercats. We've got Sejaces picking up the Pantheon for the jungle, Salic on the Lysandra in the mid lane, YOLO Solo 17. Welcome, glad you can play. Jake, it's been a very long time. Taking the Darius in the top lane, Wincarnation on that Tom Kench in the bottom lane, paired up with his ADC of the TSM Double Lift, taking the Draven.
And on the side of Team Masters of the Universe, we have Amumu Mama playing Poppy in the top lane, Phantom Attempt playing Pike in the support role with Catinator playing Jin at AD carry, Box playing Fizz in the middle, and Dikido playing Udyr jungle.
All right, so between these two teams, especially that Pike Jin versus Tom Kench Draven, who would you give favor to? Though I do at some point want to talk about the Fizz, as he is getting a huge buff soon. I don't think it's actually this patch right now, the live patch, but even still, he is extremely strong.
I think it's tomorrow when the patch comes out with Kali. I think Fizz is getting his buff. I didn't look at the patch notes if they're out.
I think it is the patch with the Kali, so I think you are right on that. So he's not quite that, but he is still strong. But we do want to talk about the Pike and Jin versus Tom Kench and Draven. Who would you give the favor to?
This was a tough one because both lanes are very strong early, where you have Draven does crazy amounts of damage with his axes, and Jin has a lot of early damage because of that 4th shot. And so I kind of want to give the advantage to the Jin Pike just because Pike could set up some more with stuns and whatnot for the Jin. However, they are playing Tom Kench, so if they do get a catch with the Bone Skewer onto Draven, just W eats him right up and they get out safely. So I don't know, it's gonna be a tough. I really don't know who to give it over to. I'm gonna say the Jin and Pike.
Jin Pike it is. I would probably agree, mostly because the execution on the Pike is going to be really nice against the Draven. You don't even have to get Draven completely down, but when you combine the crit power of a Jin 4th shot with the Pike ultimate, you can take a Jin from half health to 0 almost instantaneously with those spells. And so the ability to not only harass him out of lane early with the 4th shot, but also that execution once they hit 6 will be really nice. Draven wants to be up in your face, throwing axe after axe after axe. Jin's ultimate is extremely far range, and Pike is very hard to lock down. Tom Kench not the best at being able to actually CC someone into the ground. And so overall, I think that the Jin Pike have a small advantage, but there's definitely opportunity for the Draven Tom Kench to outplay and become a lot stronger in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think it would be interesting to see if which of these two junglers where they're gonna put their pressure, because especially on the side of Team Thundercats, basically anywhere that Chases goes would be beneficial for their laner. If you can get any of these lanes ahead, it'd be very, very good for their team, as they've got a lot of damage across the board. Aside of Team Master Universe, I would like to see this Udyr either go mid, get the Fizz ahead, and try and stumble that lead to their bottom lane, or head bot and get the Jhin Pike rolling on this lane.
Some cool skins coming out. Void Fizz, Scarlet Hammer, Poppy, and no skins on the side of blue team. So they're feeling confident in their own plays. They don't need a skin. It's going to be just fine. Go ahead with what you were going to say, though.
I think the other interesting thing to watch about this bottom lane matchup, whichever of these two AD carries gets early kills, or whichever side of the bottom lane gets the early advantage, will most likely snowball their lane, because both of these AD carries are very good at just taking over the lane as soon as they get a few kills or this CS over the other AD carry. Draven, especially with his axes, just as soon as one or two, like maybe BS rushes that going for the B or the death stance, just is very, very frustrating to deal with.
I should probably stop messing around a little bit. You're coming in kind of robotic, but that is all right. I think I'm trying to do a little bit too much. I wanted to update the names for you since we are getting into game number 2. But I think we're refreshed and good. Still waiting to get into game. Thundercats versus Masters of the Universe. If you had to pick a team to win, who would it be?
I like the team comp from the side of Team Thundercats, so I'm going to go Team Thundercats.
Simple enough. All right, well, I'm going to go with Team Masters of the Universe just because, oh no. Oh no. Did your spectator data fail? Or was that just me?
I reconnect. I have the option to reconnect though, so.
You have the option to reconnect. Oh yes, I have the option to reconnect too. All right, ladies
this
and
happened to me last game actually. Well, it didn't necessarily do this, but I was just frozen and no champions were showing up. So I reconnected and it worked fine. But hopefully this works.
All right, we're gonna reconnect. Everything's fine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Servers are down for everyone else too? What do you mean the servers are down? Is League crashed? Is League dead?
This game's dying.
Do you mean like...
I'm back in now.
Okay, I'm in. So either way, let's cross our fingers that this game won't die. We'll cross our fingers that
it seems like everybody else is in the game too.
Won't die. If we can get into this game, that's all that matters, ladies and gentlemen. All that matters. I'm just going to go ahead and quick fade over since we are already starting an in. Me and a friend can't access chat or anything. That is weird. It is weird indeed. But we did make it into game number 3. That's what counts. I'm going to give it over to the Classy Otter and his bits donation. That's why we're into game number 3. We survived. And all right, so Fizz versus Lissandra in the mid lane. This is something that is very interesting because you think of Fizz and you think of an unstoppable, just slimy monster that can always escape your grasp. However, Lissandra has 2 CC options, both the snare and the ultimate that basically just says, stop moving, and gives the opportunity for a lot of damage. So between those two, who would you give some favor to?
It's gonna be interesting because early game Lissandra definitely can outpoke Foxy. Make it really hard for him to stay around and get CS, so he will fall behind there. But we'll see when they hit 6 who gets the advantage. It'll be coming to who can outplay with the ult, because Salix, if he gets his ult timing off right, can just completely negate the Chum the Waters from Foxy's skills. So we'll see how that one turns out.
So Farm's still trying to push up in the bottom side. Katmir starts the grenade, so he's going to have a little bit of poke, a little bit easier time on the farm. In the mid lane, Salic actually took Arcane Comet, which I'm a little surprised by. I would think that Airy might be a little bit better. Gonna attempt moving forward aggressively. He's going to lose a lot of health because of that. Needs to get out of sight, And the Harpoon Skewer will find Wincarnation, pull him back. He flashes forward, consuming Phantom of Temp. The Ignite's ticking away. First blood to Draven. That is massive for Team Thundercats. His Catinator wants to trade kills, but he steps forward too far, and TSM double lift. Our axe after axe after axe. Double kill. We talked about this bottom lane from Thundercats, and they show up again. Draven, 2 kills before the 3-minute mark.
They got the level 2 advantage and then wasn't respected from the side of Catinator and Phantom Attempt, and we're punished for it. Wincarnation used both summons to pick up a kill on the Pike, and Catinator trying to trade something back, getting Wincarnation low, but stepped too far forward for it.
And he even was able, unlike last game where we saw the support taking all the kills, he gave the kills over to the Draven, which is so important, especially early on. Deaky Dow with the double buffs in the top lane, wants to find Solo. He gets the stun with the bear stance. Moo Mama comes in from the side on the Poppy, gets the slow, forces the flash out. A great stun! Beautiful moves from that heroic charge from Poppy, finds just the edge of the map, gets the stun, and trades one back over for Masters of the Universe.
That was good play from Moo Mama there. Holding on to the charge till YOLO Solo there used his flash so that there's no way escaping that after he lands a stun.
And didn't even have to flash himself. Still has the Ignite, still has the flash herself, which I think is amazing to say the least for a top lane, is that, when, especially early on, sometimes you get a little aggressive, you're feeling good, you're like, we got this, I'm just gonna flash forward to guarantee the stun. Instead, had full confidence, no Ignite or anything, and Catinator just gonna get chunked out. Double lift is just, so he started with a BF sword, and he's against a Jhin that only had some pots and a Doran's blade.
There's what I was talking about when I said whichever one of these backed got a BF sword 3 minutes in.
One of these things is not like the other. Draven's OP when he's got a BF sword.
Yeah, it might be time for this Draven that starts snowballing this lane.
Yeah, okay, so I've talked a little bit about this before, but especially Phantom of Temp now getting jumped on underneath the turret. Nice look, and a double stun as well. There's the root underneath the turret. Catinator gets it. The Grey Health doesn't even pop. Phantom of Temp with a massive outplay gives the kill back over to the Jhin. Now it's only on the Tahm Kench. They didn't get the shutdown gold on the TSM double lift, but beautiful move by this Pike underneath the turret. Double stun.
Making his way down. Might be able to catch off double lift.
Yeah,
he's not worried. He's not respecting it at all.
Goes for the bear stance, exhausts immediately, and the stun as well guarantees a kill. The Udyr finds the Draven, shuts the gold down, gets up a bunch of extra gold for himself, evening up the gold practically between these two teams already. And Tiggs is here! Latigris, welcome! It has been quite a while. How art thou? How is California?
California, let's go. What up?
Are you in California?
I am in California.
Man, all of the coolest people on the stream are in California.
Like literally everybody in DRF is in California.
All California time. Well, I appreciate you staying up early because it's later here than it is in California. So not quite. How actually? It's like 6 when the stream starts.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually a little bit early for you guys over there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I don't either. If I'm working, I work late nights. So for me, I don't get off. But Xeno's usually off by then. He's off like 4. His works.
Oh, that's why he's always on. Makes a lot of sense. All right, in the top lane, both level 5, looking for their ultimates, especially the Darius is going to want that. He's going to have a little harder time using against the Poppy. Needs to get our eyes down. There's the ultimate from Salix so early. Finds the double root as well. Maybe going back in with the E, but instead recognizes the escapability of the Fizz, forces him just to back out. Wants that push power instead. Udyr there as well to push Sandra off. Yeah, Salix off of that mid lane turret. Pantheon around the corner as well.
I was good play from Sick there, realizing he had the level advantage.
Loyalty will be rewarded.
Oh, thank you, Tiggs, for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. As Boxy down underneath 100 health, he avoids the Q from Lysandra, but Jace is here with the Pantheon and the unstoppable stun. Will give them a kill over and shut down that Fizz. There's the woot woot for the Tiggs Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate that. And you coming out to hang out. And if you want in on a game, let me know and we'll see what I can do. As nice heal from Darius in the top lane. Wincarnation underneath the turret. This is what got him killed last time. But he's got a bit more help this time around, so we'll be okay. Farm between these two in the bottom lane. 17 farm to the Draven over Jhin.
Yeah, it's not really looking that great for this Jhin Pike. I would like to see some pressure come from maybe a 4-man gank onto the Draven and I can't speak. Draven and Tom Kench here, where the Udyr and Fizz can have a good roaming pressure from Fizz.
Oh,
the turret's already gone.
Late. Yeah, because Double Lift is focused down the turret. Catinator in trouble, flashes forward, but the Axe trails after him and picks up the kill. Phantom attempt now, trying to get out, won't find the stun. Geeky Dow comes in. He might be in trouble. TSM just has so much damage. He's chunking 200, 300 health for every Axe and wants to keep the pressure on. Looks like, though, the members of Masters of the Universe will back away from the bottom turret and give Double Lift just a bit more farm, both of them backing safely.
This is why it's not a fun lane to play against Draven. As soon as he picks up kills, his axes just start doing crazy amounts of damage that you just don't ever expect.
He's sitting on 1,800 gold.
Oh no,
He's gonna come chunking through Catinator. One more axe should be enough. And oh, the heal from Cat keeps him alive. Oh, no, the ultimate for TSM, Double Lift, double outplay.
Whirling Death finishes him off. He just had enough mana for that too, which is great.
You're refereeing again, so look for me on the stream. Yes, Tiggs, that's so awesome. Love seeing you on the NA stage. That is a blast because I get to kind of point out somebody to myself and say, I know that person. There's at least one person there that I do know. So excited to see when you do that again.
The NALCS?
Yes, she's a referee for the NALCS, so sometimes she shows up in the background when it's the wide shots of the teams, prepping or the end of the game or something. So
I think my favorite, I think it was Kassing when he was winning those pillows. You remember that?
Oh, because
that was funny.
Yes, stack 2, 3, 4 pillows. Gotta have that comfort. And there's some player, I think on Cloud9 that actually, or Echo Fox, that sits with his legs up. He sits with both legs all the way up to the side. But anyway,
he needs to do that.
So Jace is down to half health, but Amumu Mama may be in trouble. The snare coming in from Sailor, that's nice. Immediately into the apprehend from Darius as well. They want the ultimate, doesn't even use it. We're prepped and ready for Geeky Dow. If they can use it there, no need to. Sailor picks up a double kill in the mid lane, so things going well for Team Thundercats. They are now 8-3, chasing into Catinator in the mid lane. He still doesn't have his ultimate. There's a slow from Incarnation with the tongue lash. In the meantime, Salix chasing into Boxy. Boxy was able to shut down the Pantheon, but he's going to be in trouble. Down to 300 health, and the axes from Double Lift are just chunking people's health away. 4-man push mid. Phantom attempt the only one. Can he make another godlike outplay? I think he's just going to back off and let that mid lane turret fall. The second turret for Team Thundercats in this game.
This is, oh man, this is not like it might have to be your game 4 if you wanted to. It might be fairly fast. That was good play from the side of Team Thundercats to collapse on the Poppy who was in the river trying to catch the Jaces out. But
Double Lift using that speed boost to get out of the stun from Pike. The flash from Udyr to get away from Salix. Wants the snare. Pantheon ulting in. They're all going aggressive. 5-man into the mid lane. The Double Lift picks up Whirling Death on the Jhin. Catinator just shut down so hard this game. Amumu Mama trying to run away, but using a good bait, I guess, to distract Team Thundercats top lane and jungle. The stun lands onto the Darius. He still gets the Q. Execution just too late. Draven's axe gonna finish him off, and Wincarnation saves Draven from underneath the turret. Every member of Thundercats with almost blinking health bars still gets out alive unless Geeky Dow has something to say about it.
This is looking very grim for Catinator's got the ultimate out. He's now hit low.
Finally,
very grim. Oh no, Catinator!
No, and TSM Double Lift, there's a quick cleanup. Wincarnation, tongue lash for the slow, allows Double Lift to do all the damage he wants. Picks up a 10th kill of the game. Okay, he almost has a kill. If you count the assist, he has a kill per minute this game. A kill per minute. That is insane.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. This is not looking good at all for side of Team Masters of the Universe. Right?
Yeah, Masters of the Universe, they are down 7,000 gold, only 10 minutes into the game, and this could be one of the shorter games that we've streamed in a very long time, because at this point, everything right is going for Team Thundercats. Top lane is ahead in farm, jungle's ahead in farm. We're going to be picking up an Ocean Drake as well, unless Golo Solo says, man, Sailor can solo it. Alright, there they go. They decide to help out. Wincarnation going to tank it out. But yeah, Team Thundercats, just solid control of the game. Is there anything that Team Masters of the Universe can do to come back in this one?
I mean, on the plus side, if they can find a few kills off the way, all the players on the side of Team Thundercats have been playing very.
Reincarnation ults though that
On his
he
own.
thought he was gonna take an ally with him and be 2 for
Serge
2.
coming around for the
Tongue
back.
lash on the Phantom Temp. Salic around here as well. TSM
And-
double lift comes in. The rest of the members here, they're looking for the double snare with a flash forward from Salic, and they're gonna get one Phantom Temp on the run. Can he get out? The stun gonna be a little bit late.
Whirling
And
death.
Whirling Death from the Draven picks him up as well. Quick 2 kills for Thundercats after picking up the Ocean Drake as well, and they still have yet to lose anyone in the past several minutes.
Well, I was gonna say they could have a chance to pick up some kills off the over-aggression from the side of Team Thundercats, but they're so far ahead at this point, it's very hard to get anything.
And the over-aggression from Reincarnation ends up paying off as the rest of the team collapses from the side. You could call it a bait, call it what you will. I'm sure that he is letting his team know that he knew exactly what was going to happen in that situation. It was all calculated. Definitely no issue there. As Mumu Mama may be able to find a solo kill onto Yellow Solo in the top lane, but no! The Draven ultimate, or the Darius ultimate comes in the bottom lane. Pike is already gone. Great help from Reincarnation keeps him alive, though an extra tower shot's going to trade a kill over. Wait, hold on.
He didn't die from that.
What?
He just got a turret, I think.
No, there's no way he got out of tower.
In
Oh,
corner.
the tower reset onto TSM double lift, and then TSM double lift step out of tower range and cleared it. That was really, really nicely done. Boxy Box coming in, the nice consume from the Reincarnation. Saves double lift for the moment. Boxy uses a broken stopwatch, but will still go down. Trade 1 for
That-
1 for the Fizz. Go ahead.
That Devour was, I figured Double would have taken damage from that. Oh, Double caught in a 1v4.
I don't think he's going to be able to play that. They finally get the shutdown gold, and it goes to a Mama. I'm not sure that's the one you wanted that 1,150 gold to go on to, but hey, if anyone on your team can get it, at least somebody has it. Better than nobody, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is very true. They did pick it up. It would have been better in the hands of, I think, Diki Dao in that one, but
It's a tough one.
It is
Poppy,
hard.
especially
They did pick it up.
mid-game, can become quite unkillable. You don't really want it on your Jhin, even though you think you want it on your Jhin, but he's so squishy, and at this point, he's just
Yeah,
going
I
to
don't
die
know.
over and over.
it's gonna be tough. If for the side of Team Master Universe, if Catinator can pick up a few items, he can start doing damage from like he's probably not gonna get focused as hard, just because he's 1 in 10. If somebody else starts picking up kills, he might be able to pick up a few kills in the back of end of fights. But that was so far ahead here that it's gonna be very tough anyway. Oh, Catinator stepped forward and gets 2-shot by the Draven.
And this is actually where I think that, and I was thinking about it earlier, the person I would have liked to see it best on
Great
would
time.
be Boxy Box. I was thinking about it a little bit later. Going 1,000 gold into the hands of the Fizz. He's already got himself a nice Lich Bane. If he can get a Zhonya's as well, it could make it a lot easier for him to find some assassinations. Of course, Incarnation going to make it very difficult, as Double Lift's going to be able to throw his axes. A little bit of Spectral Harpoon pulls Incarnation in. He's underneath the turret, tanking away. Boxy Box is going to fall. Double Lift in trouble. Consume from the Tom Kench, going to save Draven in the mid lane. Excuse me, Draven. As a Mumu Mama going to come towards the mid lane, try to help out in the 4v2, but the top lane's being pushed by 3. Bless the Rift Herald as well. That's going to take the top lane turret and maybe the inhibitor on top of it.
Oh, there's it now. Have a go with Tiger.
Yep, and they want in on the Phantom of Temp. The ult from Incarnation going to come in, bring TSM double lift as well. They're going to get one on the Udyr. TSM double lift with no fear chunks down the Jhin as well. The Poppy's 1v1ing Sayla. Can he finally get the outplay? She does, able to pick up that mid laner. But at this point, I think it's way too late. Boxy dives in, gives his own life over, just trying to delay things a little bit longer. Phantom of Temp down to half. Mama still just kind of causing havoc on the backside, soloing YOLO solo for a little bit, has no mana, but still a good chunk of health. And now that Darius is underneath the turret, there's the ult from Catinator, just slowing things down, can't find the snare. Phantom of Temp goes in, finds the execution onto the Pantheon. This is really good. Exhaust on the TSM double lift will slow his moving forward, and he doesn't have much mana, so if a good engage happens from the Udyr, things could go well for them. Poppy is continuing to chase Darius away from the turret now. Dun-dun. There's the slow. Oh, but the speed boost falls off. All right.
Oh, with the taunt at the end of it.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as exciting as you were hoping for, but 28 kills to 8. Thundercats
Down 13k gold.
just crushing it.
This is really not looking good. I mean, if they didn't have the Tom Kedge, the Fizz on Box could be able to kill the Draven, but as soon as he ults, Wincarnation just devours TSM double lift, and then his ult is completely wasted, doesn't do any damage. So it's not looking good. They need somebody to be able to kill the Draven, and then they can probably win a team fight. But
that's
he
the
just
thing.
two-shots everybody else.
It's a 20-2 Draven. Everyone else has 2 kills. It's actually kind of beautiful if you look across the stat line from the side of Thundercats. But if you are able to catch out the Draven, everyone else doesn't have that much. If you check the gold graph, each one is about 1,000 ahead of their opponent, but it's not that crazy. As in the mid lane, Catinator going to be chunked out, flashes forward, stays alive for a moment with the whirling death will finish him off. He has some double doing fine there. Salic doesn't see Phantom of Temp, so can't get the snare down. The Pike will escape. But as it is, if you are able, that's a massive if you are able to kill double up, there's a chance of winning a team fight and getting some pressure back on the map. But at the moment, that if is so massive, it would take an entire, I don't even know at this point, to be able to kill TSM double lift, because Reincarnation just saves him every single time.
I didn't even notice Nova pointed this out. They have 29 kills in 18 minutes. Oh, and he picks up 2-shotting on Boxy Box.
The Draven at this point has upped his own kill per minute at 22 kills in 18 minutes. Catinator trying to get a little poke down, but he does no damage. He has finished his Storm Razor, but he is so underpowered. The game is over at this point. Thundercats just blast on through. They're holding an entire team of Masters of the Universe inside their own fountain. They're going to take a second Nexus turret. Udyr trying to just bait the members of Thundercats away on the top side. Double Foot Carnation both burn flashes, but decide it's not worth the chase, and instead going to come right back to throw out some Thompson BM. Apprehend tries to pull people off the fountain, but it won't matter because Poppy ults them back, and the game is over. Thundercats just... Didn't we try to balance this team?
We did.
Didn't we try to balance this team? I think I like Nova's analysis.
You have to split the DRS crew and you have to split TSM.
Yeah, so Wincarnation and TSM Double Lift, unless you are a duo that want to take these two on, I think they may have to be split up, because that was just insane. I mean, really, that was all the bottom lane of Thundercats. That was all TSM Double Lift Wincarnation.
32,000 damage out of the Draven. The next closest in the game was 9,000.
All right, so go ahead with the losing team, honorable mention, and MVP.
Honorable mention, I'm giving over to... I'm gonna go with Boxy Box. He did fairly well in the mid lane. Stayed even. Didn't fall super far behind. Actually had the CS advantage for a little while there. Tried to get what he could. Couldn't do anything because Wincarnation will just W his ulti. And the MVP of Team Master Universe goes over to Mumu Mama.
Absolutely, I just said that as well.
Doing like the most damage, second most damage in the game, actually, just behind, or not just behind Demolift, behind Demolift, with 9,000, but did very well in the top lane against a tough matchup being a Darius. Even though Poppy has a lot of tools to deal with him, did get the early kill from the gank and still kept Darius from getting huge, like we normally see with like Seal playing it or something.
And the thing I like about the Poppy overall's play was that there were times that certain people would try to distract the enemy from getting a turret or distract the enemy from a team fight or something, but often, like an Udyr or whatever, they can't win a fight. They can't 1v1, they can't 1v2, they are not going to be able to do that. We saw Poppy not only disengaging and pulling Salic away, gets the kill on the Lissandra, then chases Darius just away from everything else, chases him around the bot side as well. That's taking pressure away. And while TSM Devilit was doing all the work, Poppy was pulling people away from the rest of the fight and away from the base, and that was important, not only to get them out of the base, but winning those engages, and that's what is really critical. 3 and 3, tied for the least deaths on the team, played overall a really good Poppy. And as she said, nice debut. I think was a really good debut. It just was all about TSM Doublelift and Win Carnation, which I don't even know that it's fair to give them honorable mention and MVP, but I guess I have to anyway, because they did everything. As Salix said, they carried it. So I'm not going to talk too much about them. And we're seeing if there's anyone I wanted to point out for the side of Thundercats besides those two.
I could probably say, like, I think Salix played pretty well in the team fights. Had good engages with his roots, and his ultimates were pretty good.
And I think actually I agree with you in that the say, like, especially on the bottom side, flashing forward to get 2 roots, most often you see Lissandra, especially people that aren't comfortable on the Lissandra, use the ultimate for the engage, and instead he saved it, whether using it for himself or using it on somebody that's trying to escape. And it's so scary as a squishy mid laner to go into melee range to get the snares, the roots down, but he knew how to do that, and I agree with you, he did it very well.
So are you doing a 4th game, or are you on that one?
This is the question. Give me 1 second.
Ice training or Deer of Ice training.
To Equinox. Yes, you can post your stream and Twitter link. That's fine. I think I have a fancy way of giving you permissions for a second. Not block user. How do I do that? Not whisper. I don't want a mod user. I don't want a ban user. What? How do you give, like, link power to somebody?
Oh, Google.
I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I deleted the link. You should be able to post your... I thought you just clicked on them. Give me a second, guys. I could mod you and then unmod you. That would work. All right, I modded you for a second.
Oh, you can use !permit username command to temporarily allow a user to post a link.
Okay, so you have to type permit.
Setting on Nightbot.
If
it's Nightbot.
That's fine. Good enough.